Have you ever been out in the country, like really out there, where there are no cars or people or streetlights or civilization in general? I recently had the privilege and the honor of going out to the middle of bumfuck Missouri for a good friend of mine's birthday party. He's actually a YouTuber. I'll leave a link in the description, so please give a like and a follow and all that other stuff, especially if you like video games. He's pretty witty. Check him out. Either way, we're out in the middle of nowhere, and at one point we took like a 30-minute walk from one part of the farm to the next, and it was pitch black. We were walking through the trees, and all we had are these flashlight type lantern things, and while it was really cool, it got me thinking, I can only really see 30, 40 feet from where we are, and beyond that, it's dark. And then at another point, he drove us up to the top of this hill in like this truck thing. I guess it's a farmer thing. Either way, we're on the top of this hill, and he's like, hey, check this out. Turned off the lights, and the sky, it was just, I've never seen that many stars in my entire life. But at the same time, while we're all oohing and ahhing over all the stars, I looked out into the nothingness that was around us. It was dark. Couldn't see the trees. I knew there were trees right there. I couldn't see them. We were on a hill. You could look down, and I should have been able to see something. Nothing. Black. Put my hand in front of my face like that. Black. It was amazingly awesome. It made me think about tabletop role-playing games in general, like D&D, which is my jam. That's what I play. How do I handle darkness in that game? And how often do I kind of miss the mark on that? I'm John, and you're watching Dragons and Flagons. Darkness in role-playing games is more or less just a mechanic. It's a checkbox. You either have dark vision or you don't. But out in that field, I realized how terrifying and immersive darkness really could be for your players. When you can't see more than a foot in front of you, or when your light flickers and turns out, your whole sense of safety just disappears. So it's really not a rule, it's kind of real life experience that you can bring into your game, where you feel it, the isolation, the helplessness. So let's talk rules really quick. I don't want to get too deep into the rules because there's, I'm sure, thousands of different rules for thousands of different games and all of that, and I can only speak to the ones that I personally know. But we know that in 5e and whatever the newest version of the 2024 edition, dark vision allows you to see in darkness, like it was dim lights. And then if it's dim light, you can see it like bright light. But I guess the caveat is that everything's in grayscale or black and white or something along those lines. The 2024 edition, but it didn't seem like the rules there changed too much. It seemed like it just kind of clarified different things and expanded on the verbiage. And then there's hundreds of other, swords and sorcery or just role-playing games, and they all have different variants of how they handle darkness. But personally, whether I'm a DM, GM, referee, whatever you want to call it, or a player, I've never been in a game that was really just focused on that darkness. Not that I'm saying the whole game should be about darkness, but where that mechanic became something more living, something more tangible. I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that darkness doesn't have to be something that you kind of bypass. It's more of a weapon. It's a tone setter. So I'm thinking that maybe next time I'm running a game, or I won't give the players such an easy way around it. I'm not going to assume that everyone has dark vision, and I'm going to ask them, really, what are you doing to stay aware of your surroundings? You can only see so far. Are you going to, light a torch? Or are you going to walk in blindly and just feel your way around? All you can see is maybe a foot in front of you. You might be able to see the ground. What are you going to do? And the elf next to you, maybe they can see really far, but if you're going to be any use because you're the human, maybe you need to light a torch, but now you're screwing up that person's cool ability. So giving a little give and take there. I want the players to feel that uncertainty. I'm going to describe the sounds of distant footsteps, or the cold wind from an open doorway, or that moment that their torch flickers into life. Maybe they see something right outside the edge of it, but now they can't see any further, whereas if the torch wasn't there, they could. Would it attract something? That torch is going to be a beacon for anything that's down there. They probably don't like that light. Use darkness as almost like a monster with presence and danger and intent. But darkness can also be a pacing mechanic. It can slow the game down, and not in a bad way. It can make the players pause and think just for a moment. Do they risk lighting a torch, sacrificing dark vision, and alerting the enemies? Or do they leave those without dark vision in total blindness? And these choices can really change the encounter. Even if it's a nothing burger encounter, not everything needs to be, hey, the lights are out, roll for initiative. It could just be walking down a hallway or something along those lines. You could put a trap in there, you could put a monster in there, you could put a clue that they're gonna miss, a secret door. Or you could just let it hang there and let them feel the tension as they're moving down this maybe 30 feet, maybe 80 feet, who knows? It could be any length or distance, but they've got to move from point A to point B in darkness. And how are they going to manage that? How are they going to do that? How are they going to, as a party, cohesively structure their walking pattern? Are they going to catch all of the clues? The point I'm trying to make is, don't just throw it out the window and be like, some people have dark vision, monster of the week, here we go, that's the game. Use it almost as its own monster of itself, slowing the tone down and adding a little bit of suspense. It really gives the DM a chance to describe what isn't seen. A creak of wood somewhere in the black, or a sudden gust of wind from an unknown source, an echo from behind a wall. Darkness is not just a visual barrier. It's an opportunity to set the mood, to add additional tension, and to provide your players with some decision-making choices. How do you use darkness in your games? Do you just wash it off to everyone's got dark vision and let's move on, or do you really turn it into an encounter all of its own? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and if you've got like a really cool mechanic that you personally use, whether it's taken from another game or you've come up with it yourself, let me know, because I'm always looking for a better way to not just darkness, but for anything. To make the games more immersive, to make them better, to make them more fun for not only myself, but also the players that are playing, because, I mean, what's the point of doing this if you're not having fun? And hey, if you like this kind of content, immersive, thoughtful ways to put new and different twists into your role-playing game, be sure to like, subscribe, do all the normal YouTube things. And thanks a lot for watching.